Well, I tell you what, with the appetite of Man United to sign central defenders increasing every other day, because these defenders at Man United look like they're aged and few of those will stay. I tell you what, Ronald Araujo, who plays for Barcelona, has been linked to Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having fun. Second video of the day. 2 hours from now, we are going to be coming to you live and discussing exactly what you people want to get to know. Now, before we get into that, Raphael Varane, Brandon Williams, and Anton Martial, huge departure update. Then, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Samuel Lucas, chief United writer for the Manchester United Evening News Desk, has come up and obviously given us a very big hint about this guy. And guess what? Even Scott Mctominay injury has gone ahead to obviously be given by him himself. It's an injury hint, and he says he's gonna be back stronger and fitter. Good evening. Rokan David is my name. This is the United Matters channel, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. Let's see close to 300 likes. Smash this video. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 17,200 subscribers, and I think by the end of this week we might have gone ahead to hit that milestone. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, right? And let's obviously head off with stories emerging from Man United with effect from now. So a story coming in from Telegraph Dhaka. You know him as James Dhaka. He's a United correspondent for the Telegraph. He has confirmed us that Raphael Varane, Brandon Williams, and Anton Martial expected to leave Man United as free agents at the end of the season. So, Manchester United have really tried to start to work onto the players that are really going to leave. And we all know that for Raphael Varane, there is still a hint that maybe he might be kept at Man United if at all he obviously accepts to take a pay cut, you know. And I tell you what, when you look at the number of games that Varane has gone ahead to play, when you look, let's see, Varane has gone ahead to play how many games this season? Varane has played 21 games in the Premier League. That means has missed out on like 13, right? 4 games in the Champions League, missed out on 2. EFL Cup, he played 1 game. I think we played 2. That means missed out on 1. And FA Cup, I think he has only missed out on the game of Liverpool, right? He missed out on the game of Liverpool. He played the game of Liverpool. He has only missed out on one game, meaning that he has played 3 games of the FA Cup, Champions League 4, those are 7. When you add on the Carabao Cup 1, those are 8. He has so far played almost 30 games, and he has missed out on a few games. So I really understand that United might be really backing on him to stay at the club of Man United, so to it that he really continues his spell at the club of Man United, and they might be willing to obviously offer him a new deal provided he takes a pay cut. But for the rest of the players, Brandon Williams and Anton Martial, there is no chance of them staying at the club of Man United. They need to try their future elsewhere. That is it. That is it. And I think out of those 3 that have gone ahead to be mentioned, I think Varane might be a candidate to stay. But the others, I don't see them staying at the club of Man United. For Anton Martial, he's gone. Brandon Williams, he's gone. No reason, because even where he's playing right now, I think in the Championship, he has not gone ahead to impress that maybe United say, we are going to trigger his 1 year left on his contract, meaning that they're not willing to trigger their contracts. Even Anton Martial, he has 1 year left on his contract that can be triggered. United cannot trigger it. That is it. Then, for Varane, I've told you. But that leaves a very huge question on who is really going to be playing in the central defense of Man United next season. The list keeps continuing to really grow on who is really going to leave. But the candidates of leaving are Varane, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Evans. So, if you are to lose 4 central defenders, that means you're going to be left with Lisandro Martinez, you get, and Camboala. That means you have to reinforce him there. And that's why it's easy for me to come to you and I really tell you that Man United is gonna come up with a solution And what is the solution gonna be? I think they might decide to stay with Cambuala, Lisandro Martinez, and Varane, 3 of those. Then they get out Harry Maguire and Lindelof, because I believe those two can get us like 50 million pounds, 50 to 60 million pounds package of money. Let's count 50. You sell Harry Maguire 30, 20 for Lindelof. You understand? That is 50 million pounds. And you can use that 50 million pounds to add on the amount of money you have to get in the likes of Ronald Araujo. Now, for Man United, that means they can be having enough money to obviously get in two good centre backs. And this is where Mateo Moreto has come out and told us that Man United are interested in Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo. If an important offer arrives from Araujo in the summer, Barcelona will consider doing a deal. Now, Araujo was linked to Man United, I think, 2 summer transfer windows back. He was so much linked to Man United, and Barcelona was like, we are not going to sell the player. That is it. But right now, with the problems Barcelona are really having, they need to offload players. And I think the easiest players to offload are Araujo. Why? They have a new young guy known as Kubasi. I've gonna hate to say story linking him to Man United, but I'll need to obviously come in through and really verify it. Kubasi has gonna hate to be linked to Man United, but at the age of 17, he really went ahead to really play very well in the Champions League semi-final, right? Sorry, quarterfinals, when they are playing against Bayern Munich. You get? And he's really doing great. When you look at Barcelona, that means their central defense is really having a very huge boost. And they might say, let's sacrifice this man, Araujo, and we can really sell him and see whether there is a club that can get us money. And you'll be asking yourselves, how much money is Barcelona asking in for to obviously sign Araujo? Ronald Araujo is no longer transferable. FC Barcelona will listen to offers from him this summer. The club wants at least 100 million euros for him. His mistake versus PSG made his future more uncertain than ever. Barcelona believe Kubasi Pau can replace him. And the reporter is Alfredo Martinez. Alfredo Martinez works for Onda Serio Radio. They are for your Nacional Academia Delerio. Looks like he's in Spain or Uruguay. So, 100 million euros. For me, I love Araujo, but I cannot spend 100 million euros on a defender. In this kind of rebuild that Man United is going in through, I tell you what, I cannot entertain such. I can't entertain such. And if there is anything that I can entertain at the club of Man United, it should be a defender who is really good and young. I know Araujo is 25, yeah, good age. He has the experience. He's a winner because he's going to hit to win La Ligas there. But you ask yourself, according to the number of players want to bring in throughout Man United, and according to the very many that are going to leave, would you like to be spending 100 million pounds or 100 million euros? That is 86 million pounds on a defender. For me, my answer is a no. It's a no. 1, you have to bring in 2 central defenders who are really elite. You get? You have to bring in a CDM. You have to bring in another striker. A right back. So, on average, we are going to get in a minimum of 6 players. Now, if you are to buy every player for a minimum of 50 million pounds, that is 300 million pounds. Now, you can't go out and really say that I'm going to spend 86 million pounds on signing in one player. That's why, for me, I'm looking at the following defenders. I'm looking at Todibo, who is at 40 million pounds. You get in Todibo, right? If you have Cambuala, Lisandro Martinez, Todibo, and Lisandro Martinez, those are 4. Then you look out for a 5th central defender, right? And that 5th central defender, if I told you sell Harry Maguire and Lindelof for money, that 5th central defender might cost us like 30 million pounds. We can really look out for other defenders that are really good. A defender who is like 19 years of age, like the other Argentine player. Was it Argentine player who plays for Boca Juniors? You look out for him and get him in at money to be an understudy. That is it. So if you're having 5 or 6 central defenders, we will be good to go. So that's why I don't agree in United buying a player who is beyond 50 million pounds this summer. We should all admit that we should go back to square one, like you saw Arsenal did. How many seasons has it taken Arsenal to obviously sign a player of 60, 70, 80 million pound players? You remember the players that Arteta started with his rebuild at Arsenal. He brought in Gabriel Magalhaes, right? After Gabriel Magalhaes, because he was their most expensive player that season, he came in for like 30. He was for 30 million pounds from Lille. That's when they brought him in. And who else did he bring? Who else did he bring that summer? I remember Willian came in through, those are the signings that Mikel Arteta went ahead to make. You get? In the second season, they elevated. They brought in Benjamin White for 50 million pounds. Aaron Ramsdale for 30 million pounds. They brought in Tomiyasu for 18 million pounds. They had to get in Nuno Tavares. I think Nuno Tavares was for 7 million pounds. They brought in this other guy who's playing at Luton very well, the Belgian international Lokonga, for 18 million pounds. You get? That's how a team went ahead to elevate. After that, they went ahead the next season to bring in Gabriel Jesus for 50 million pounds, right? They brought in Fabio Vieira for 35. They brought in Zinchenko for 35. Marquinhos, I think he came in for like 3. So those are the signings that Arsenal went ahead to make. You get? Now, after 3 summers of signing players not more than 50 million pounds, that's when Arsenal broke the bank. They said 67 payout check to Chelsea to sign Kai Havertz. They went ahead to get on Declan Rice 105, 40 million pounds for Julian Timber, and 27. Is it 27? I think 27 million pounds for David Raya. That is Arsenal for you. That's what they did as a side of Arsenal. And I tell you, it has gone ahead to work out for them. Let's go back to Pep Guardiola, what he did. Pep Guardiola, when he's coming through at Man City, he first signed players for 50 million pounds. John Stones, Kyle Walker, and very many others. Then he went ahead to elevate and brought in Riyad Mahrez 65, Rodri, And for how long did it take Man City to sign a player of 100 million pounds? That is none other than what's the name of the guy? Jack Grealish. You get? Jack Grealish. He came in through in the summer of 2022, if at all I'm not mistaken. That's when Jack Grealish came in through, But Pep had been at Man City for like 6 seasons. He hadn't gone ahead, obviously, tell the board that get me a player of 100 million pounds. And those players were available. You understand? So I tell you this, no one is going to come out and really think like this, maybe, but I tell you, we don't need to go in and really sign players like these. Let Bayern Munich pay the check. But for us as Man United, we don't deserve this. We don't deserve this, and we deserve better as a side of Man United. Let's go for the Todibos first. Get in plenty of quality players, because Man City was winning trophies buying in players of that quality. You get? Let's get in players at 50 million pounds who are really good, because teams have gone ahead to get in players who are of that quality. You get? Let's get those players in, and then later we'll try to go in for those. And if at all Lisandro Martinez can step fit, he can give us a very good season to Debo. That's why I tell you that Braithwaite, if he's costing 70 to 80 million pounds, I don't go for him on any day, because we can't risk out such. All we need is to get in quality players. If Jason Willox is good at his work, Jason Willox and Omar Berada plus Dan Ashworth, then they can use a budget that we have to get us players that are really good enough. That is it. let's not try to obviously excite ourselves, but let's get in players like the Benjamin Šeško's, 42 million pounds, get him at Man United, let him compete with Rasmus Højlund. Let's not go in for players who are really expensive for now, because we should admit that we should go back to square one, rebuild that squad with young quality like you saw Arsenal do their stuff now. They're into what we call the harvesting stage. I think we should be patient a little bit, because we now have people who are really good at the job. Now, that is it coming in through from the man himself, Alfredo Martinez, and very many others linking this guy to Man United. But I really love the player, but I don't think he's worth that amount of money. Let the Bayerns go in for him. But for me, I'm not ready. I had gone back in my mother language. So I'll be surprised if at all that deal comes to pass. The other player that Man United expected to listen to offers to is Wan-Bissaka this summer, and they want him to leave. Samuel Lucas. This is written all over the wall. He doesn't match the standards of the kind of player that we need at the club of Man United. That's why he should really be shown the exit door as a player. He should leave. He should be leaving Man United. After the FA Cup final, he should be one of those players that we should sell fast, by the way. Him, Eriksson, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, who else? They should be leaving the club of Man United. We should be selling these players, offload them, the Sanchos, let them go, such that we get ample time to see to it that we get in that money early enough and use it better, because we are having people who are really good at negotiating the deal. For Wan-Bissaka, I think he's English. United can really fetch back 30 million pounds. That is it. 30 million pounds. He still has, I think he's 26, 27 years of age. We can fetch 30 million pounds from him. I know very many teams will obviously want to get him, but known teams that are really in the top half of the table. And teams like Crystal Palace, Fulham, will West Ham want him? I know it depends on the money they'll be bringing in through, but I know teams will be really rushing. The Evertons of this world will obviously be willing to have a right back like him because of his defensive skills as a player. So that is it for Wan-Bissaka, but all I know is that he can fetch between 25 to 30 million pounds. That will be really great for the club of Man United. And when you look at the players that we anticipate to sell, I think we can get in some huge amounts of money and rebuild the club of Manchester United. Lastly, Scott McTominay, who walked off, and we are told that his assessment or diagnosis is going to be coming out tonight, has come out and really posted the following on his Instagram: that I slipped and fell awkward on my knee, similar to against Chelsea. Nothing serious, just hypertension, but I was angry and upset that I thought it was worse than it was. Hoping to be back on the pitch very soon to help the team as much as I can. So he says, nothing serious, just hypertension, but I was angry and upset that... So he was angry and upset, meaning thinking that the injury was really bad, and it had gone ahead, obviously, turn out his career to be a done and dusted season. But obviously looks like he's really doing his best to obviously get back to where he deserves to be, and he's like, I'm gonna be back very, very, very soon. So losing him in this situation is not good, because we are really having players that are really missing out a lot, and this season has been characterized by injuries at the club of Man United. So let's wait and see what is gonna be put up in the news as far as his return date is concerned, because I know by the end of this week we'll be getting an update on when we expect him to return to play part into the season of Manchester United. So Rokan David is my name. Your thoughts on Araujo to Man United interest are welcome in the comment section below. Bissaka up for sale, what do you make about it? And Scott McTominay charged for his return. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. We out. 300 likes on this video. Don't forget to subscribe, because we want to hit 17,200 subscribers. Not so? Hope you're gonna hit to enjoy this episode. Another video is coming in through. I promise it might be a live one that we are gonna be really bringing up to you onto this beautiful channel of ours. That is the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are gonna hit to have a very beautiful stay. I love you, and thank you for reciprocating the love. Bye-bye.